Remember that time you were obsessed with a Disney ride?
Today, we are talking about tech rides. We are talking about Disney's latest and greatest attractions with newest technologies.
It's gonna be crazy talking about all of this tech. I am going to do the whole show as a robot because I am high tech as well. Oh dear, I'm seeming to have a slight malfunction.
Rise of the Resistance is a... Gosh, how do you describe Rise of the Resistance?
I mean, the question shouldn't be, what is Rise of the Resistance? The question should be, what is it not? Because it's everything.
Maybe the most incredible ride in any Disney theme park.
To call Rise of the Resistance a ride is honestly insulting. It is more than a ride. It is more than an attraction. It is a 20+ minute immersive experience that puts you into the Star Wars universe.
Is the centerpiece, even though it's not in the center, of Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. It's kind of off to the side, but it's the centerpiece.
It combines a lot of different incredible technology, including a trackless ride vehicle system. You have plenty of animatronics in there, a combination of different ride vehicles and modes.
You're walking a lot, which is not really a ride system, but there's a lot of walking because you got to get from one ride system to another.
It's almost like riding 3 rides at once.
You're entering the queue at the Resistance base camp. So you have joined the Resistance along with Finn and Poe and Rey and General Organa, and you are meeting up with Rey. And she's gonna let you know the location of the secret base.
Kylo Ren is still evil. He is on the lookout for the Resistance, and you are taken on board a First Order ship.
And the First Order's like, prisoners. Then you like make fun of your pants, probably.
I don't think that's actually true, but guess what? They're scary in there. Yeah, they come up to you and they say, "You dummy. Okay, what are you, some kind of idiot? I know what you're doing, you Resistance scum."
And then all of a sudden, bang, you hear something happening in the wall, and lasers actually cut out a hole out of the wall because the Resistance, remember the guys that were with Finn that Rey told us about? They are breaking you out of there.
You got Kylo Ren coming after you with the lightsaber coming through the ceiling.
You then get into one of the escape pods and jettison out of the Star Destroyer and ultimately to safety. So,
spoiler alert, the Resistance does win and you don't die. As you can tell. I'm not dead.
One of the parts that sticks out to me the most is when Kylo Ren has his like little fit, you know, when he's pulling us in. He's like, you know, I can control you and you shouldn't have come up here, and our ride vehicles literally are going up and back. I was like, okay, this is cool.
The Kylo Ren lightsaber that cuts through the ceiling is a maze.
when you go into the bay with the 2 AT-ATs. And to actually look up and see there's an AT-AT, there's 2 AT-ATs. It was fantasy come to life.
My absolute favorite part of this ride, because I love the sensation of dropping, is that at the very end you get into a rescue spaceship. I'm sure there's a transport. I don't know. I don't actually know the Star Wars terminology for this one.
And then we get in that escape pod, and like you don't know what's gonna happen, and it's quiet. It's kind of quiet. Like the music is lower,
and then it physically drops. And every single time it is such a rush.
And it goes like, da, 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 da.
And it's just that beautiful Star Wars music. I'm like, we're here, we're in space. It's amazing, we're part of it. We are fighting with the Resistance. It's amazing. It's there's nothing else like it.
I kid you not, every single time I'm in that escape pod and it drops, I like throw a fist in the air and I'm like, yes, we did it. I did nothing. Every single time I'm literally like fist in the air.
I'm always serious.
I absolutely think Rise of the Resistance is the best ride Disney's ever made.
Oh, Rise of the Resistance is the best ride any park has ever made, period.
Some things in life are just good, okay? And this ride, like Campbell's soup, is good. You know, to be honest with you, Campbell's soup really ain't that great.
It's not my favorite ride. It's up there. It's on the list of my favorite rides, but I think people get confused a lot when people say it's the best ride versus their favorite ride. Because for a lot of people, their favorite ride's like something nostalgic. But yes, best, technologically, most advanced, most immersive, most impressive. Yes.
Rise of the Resistance. Good.
We have transports waiting to take you to General Organa's secret base on Pucara.
You're about to experience a ceremony that's very special to the Na'vi.
Avatar Flight of Passage is a 3D simulator attraction in Pandora, the world of Avatar, at Animal Kingdom that simulates the flight of passage.
Like a rite of passage?
Where you get on the back of a banshee and fly about the Valley of Moara.
That is inspired by the blockbuster film Avatar by James Cameron.
I'm cluing you in early that I am not a fan of Avatar, the film.
No one cares about that movie. Trust me, I get it.
But I am a fan of Flight of Passage because I don't actually think you need to be a fan of Avatar to enjoy this ride.
The plot of Flight of Passage is that you are, coding into your avatar, just like Jake Sully in the movie. Yeah, I know his name. I've seen it. You didn't think I had, but I've seen Avatar.
And then you get on a mechanical bull / motorcycle situation that breathes. Yeah, it actually breathes under your legs.
It's like a motorcycle that breathes, okay? And like vibrates, and it is very odd and it is very weird.
They've made it really feel like you're on something that's going like this.
I think the ride system is a little bit deceiving in how cool it is because you've all been on it before. You may think it's something new. It's not. It's something old.
It's honestly like Fancy Soarin', and I can get behind Fancy Soarin'.
But the seat is really cool.
And you put on 3D glasses and all of a sudden some lights flash in your face and the wall is gone and you are flying through the vistas of Pandora on the back of a banshee.
What's super great about it is it's a screen below you and you're looking down at it, which means you look like this. It's super flattering for everyone. You have 6 to 9 chins and it keeps you humble. Like every time I look at it, I'm like, thanks for humbling me today, Disney.
Also, it smells really good.
I love the smells. I love smelling things on rides.
Yeah, I'll say it. I enjoy smells on rides. Oh, good smells on rides, of course.
Now, Quincy loves smelling things on rides, but she loves smelling gross things on rides.
What?
But I enjoy when you go into the cave with the bioluminescence. There is an incredible scent that I must ask Disney again. I ask you, I beg you, Disney, please make a candle of this scent.
I do not think this is the best ride Disney has ever made because I already gave that award to Rise of the Resistance. And even if I hadn't, I still wouldn't give it to this ride.
I don't even think it's the best ride at Animal Kingdom. I think that the best ride at Animal Kingdom is Expedition Everest. That thing's amazing. Also, the safari is up there. You're telling me a live giraffe coming up next to you with its sweet, sweet giraffe baby is not as good as Flight of Passage? I disagree.
Flight of Passage is a good ride. I have to give it demerits for its material. I don't have a connection to Avatar. I don't feel like a lot of people in this day and age have a connection to Avatar.
Wouldn't this be so great if all this technology, all this passion, all this creativity, all this beauty went into a franchise I cared about? That's what I think every single time I go to Pandora.
It's unbelievable that that movie is the highest grossing film of all time, isn't it? Isn't that unbelievable? How incredible that we have a movie that has been that successful, more successful than any film ever, and yet I think it's just collectively left the conscious.
My wonderful coworkers don't really like this movie, but I like it. I do. It's so weird. He literally said that he dreamed about this. Like James Cameron said this was a dream in his head. And I love that because a dream is a wish your heart makes. Or a dream is a land that Disney makes when you're James Cameron.
Would I ride a Banshee in real life? Yes, I would.
If I could hook my ponytail in, I assume that acts like a seatbelt. They hook the ponytail to the Banshee.
These gorgeous curly locks could never connect to that strappy, weird, virus-looking. What? Ugh.
I love a thrill. I'm in. Let's do it.
As long as the Banshee's okay with it. You know, I don't want this to be one of those things where it's like when you go to Asia and you can ride a poor abused elephant that's like not well taken care of so tourists can ride him. I want it to be like a happy Banshee.
Pretty sure that Banshees are protected by PETA. And they can only work so many hours a day under certain conditions.
Right, picnickers! Told you nothing was gonna go wrong.
Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway
Nothing can stop us now.
is a trackless dark ride at Disney's Hollywood Studios that puts you in the world of Mickey Mouse and a modern cartoon.
I think I would thrive in the Toon World. I think the only thing you need to thrive in the Toon World is the ability to be ridiculous, and I'm pretty ridiculous.
This ride had a uphill battle to fight the moment it was announced, because it replaced an absolutely beloved ride within Hollywood Studios.
It actually replaced the Great Movie Ride. Now, I'm a huge fan of the Great Movie Ride, okay?
But people love Mickey Mouse, people love Minnie Mouse, and there had never been a Mickey and Minnie ride anywhere in the world before.
Isn't that wild?
Imagineers made the calculated decision to remove Great Movie Ride in favor of a Mickey and Minnie ride.
Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway is so cute. I honestly will go on that ride anytime. I will wait for that ride.
I think for a no height requirement family ride, the amount of technology and thrill they were able to get into it is incredible.
You're in the Chinese theater to watch the debut premiere of a brand new Mickey Mouse short, you see. And then while you're watching that short, the railway becomes a runaway.
We're on the train. Goofy is driving the train.
I do not feel good about Goofy and Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. I do not feel good about Goofy and the new style of animation. I don't love the new style of animation. It's very Ren and Stimpy to me, and it doesn't necessarily always look like our classic friends that we know and love. But Goofy got hit the hardest.
In the arms of
I see myself in Goofy, and I see that he's hurting. Something's not right in his life. He hasn't shaven, he's very skinny, and his clothes look dirty.
I don't like it, Goofy. I'm worried about you. As your friend, I am worried about you, so please reach out.
With your short donation, you could help Goofy get some pants.
So this, I will say this, the innovation of the technology for this ride is very impressive. The trackless system is great.
Beautiful choreography in between where like the cars will change who's in front, and you may go in this scene behind this car, but then something will happen and now you're behind this other car and now you're in the front. And they literally just like, it's like a dance that these cars do choreographed, and it's really neat because if you ride it, if you get in the front when you get on the attraction, you're not going to be in the front when you're getting off the attraction. So I love that you can look for different little things because the story is happening around you, so you might be able to see something better or not at all, depending on which of the four cars you're in.
The last time we talked about Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway on RTT, I talked about a scene and then the editor cut it. So I'm going to talk about it again and see if he cuts me again. There's a scene in Mickey Minnie.
But I also really love the way they've done like the projection mapping in there. I feel like it's the first like full out projection mapping based rides. That's the projection that curves around surfaces. And it's like magic before your eyes. Like there's literally the part at the end where the like factory turns into a park. And I'm always like,
I do not think this is the best ride ever made. I think it's a good ride that doesn't get its chance. I think a lot of people decided to not like this ride before they ever even gave it a shot, or they walked into it wanting to hate it. That doesn't mean it's the best ride ever made.
No, in fact, I'd put it kind of low on this list. It's cute, but Rise of the Resistance, Flight of Passage, and Web Slingers are all technologically more advanced and also more impressive.
Oh, no, Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway is not the best ride that Disney ever created. Far from it. It's a great ride. It's a really fun ride. I do really love it, but Rise of the Resistance, by far, leaps and bounds. There is absolutely no comparison. They are not in the same league.
I do think it's iconic in its own way because it is Mickey and Minnie, and that's iconic. Like that's kind of a trump card. It's like come on in here and ride with Mickey and Minnie. I see you, Slinky Dog, and I raise you literally Mickey and Minnie. So, what do you thought? Hey, guys, bye. Sorry, Mickey and Minnie.
Now, let's
sling a web. All you gotta do is sling your arm in the direction you want to shoot a web, and that's it.
Web Slingers is...
We're gonna slang them webs!
It is a Spider-Man ride. It's located in Avengers Campus, and it's interactive.
Web Slingers is cardio for your arms. Can we just call it what it really is, okay? It is cardio for your arms.
It's a super fun ride. It's the best of these game and a ride attractions. For a long time, I would give that to Men in Black in Universal Orlando, that I thought that was the best one of these. But I think today I would say my favorite of these game and a ride attractions is now Spider-Man Web Slingers.
I really didn't have that high, I had expectations for it because it was in Avengers Campus and I love the Avengers and I love Peter Parker, but I didn't really know what to expect. And it was awesome. It blew me away. Duckfist and I rode it together for the first time and we both got off and were like...
Basically, what is so cool about this ride is that it is kind of like Toy Story Mania.
It's hard enough for me to ride Toy Story Mania because you have to pull that little ball and it goes like this. Like I always pull it, I put the ball between my fingers and I pull it like this. And it works out a very strange muscle in the front of my arm and it hurts me.
But instead of having slingshots or something like a physical thing where it is reacting to that component, you're using your hand.
You use these. You just use your hands. That's all. And literally you go like this.
You know, whistle, whistle.
The plot of Web Slingers is that you are headed into the Web Institute, which Tony Stark has funded as a way to encourage bright minds to do the next generation of creation and innovation in the Avengers universe.
Spoiler alert, they are other kids from Marvel.
So, of course, Peter Parker is there, Squirrel Girl is there, Luna is there, the kid from Iron Man 3 is there, who's also in Jurassic World. So all these characters are there.
And they're training with spider bots, which are these really cool new inventions.
They have a self-replicating feature. They can make more of themselves. They are replicating so much that they threaten to take over not only all of the research facility, but all of Avengers Campus.
And you're gonna sling some webs with Spider-Man. So you get into a vehicle and all the spider bots are there and you physically are slinging webs trying to take down the spider bots to help Peter Parker out.
So that actually brings me back to the tech of Web Slingers that most blows my mind is the fact that you yourself are slinging webs.
Slinging the webs, all good.
Here's the thing, y'all, is that while that is new for Disney, it's not particularly new in the video game world. We've had motion detection for the Xbox Kinect, for many different rides, now virtual reality, for many, many, many years. It is very sophisticated motion detection because you do have 4 different people and it knows my arm from your arm and it can recognize when I extend to fire a web versus when you do. But it's new tech, but it's not new tech, you know?
The cool thing about this ride as well is Disney, in their financial marketing mind, even created little add-on slingers that you can purchase for an additional cost to get on this ride for better chances to improve your aim, and there are multiple different types. There's a Gwen Stacy one, there's an Iron Man one where you shoot like this.
So we're talking about rides that are gonna blow our minds. If the Phase 2 Avengers Campus ride comes to be, we don't know much about it. But if it comes to be,
it's gonna blow all of this out of the water.
So the Phase 2 attraction that should be coming out, TBD, we got nothing. They just opened this one during, a pandemic. So let's give them a minute.
You are going to be participating in a battle on the fields of Wakanda with the Avengers. And the 1-2 pieces of concept art they've put out shows guests in individual jetpacks is what it looks like you're in. And then you're flying through a field where literally the Hulk is smashing enemies on the fields of Wakanda.
This is going to be the e-ticket attraction. This is going to be the one that everybody wants to go to, that we're going to have to.
Overall, Disney continues to impress and thrill with the technology that they put into these rides.
While I like classic dark rides and while I still love nostalgic favorites like Pirates of the Caribbean and Haunted Mansion, the new technology is part of the reason people keep going back to Disney. They're always innovating and breaking ground and figuring out new ways to immerse you more into the stories and more into the attractions, and these are all great examples of that.
They should not stop innovating these rides. They are mind-blowing. They push the boundaries of what an experience a person can have is. I love them. I love them so much.
This motion, my cool raver hands, my cool raver hands, my cool raver hands, shooting out those spider webs, getting all those spider bots, Oh, hot or not? Yes, hot.
Hey everybody, it's Molly. Thanks for tuning into this week's episode of RTT. Please make sure to like and subscribe, ring that notification bell so you never miss an episode. If you want more RTT right now, click over here for a playlist of our favorite in-parks episodes. And if you want more AllEars, click over here for a full tour of the brand new Avengers campus. Thanks for watching.